Most of people know about the yin yang, but how do we make use of this information into our practice? In my opinion, the greatest benefit that we can have for this purpose is to help us to better understand our character. And when we understand it better, it is much easier to know in which direction to move to overcome our own limitations. As you may know, in the Taoist philosophy, the yin and yang represent the two main qualities of the force that composes and creates the whole universe. Since everything is composed by yin and yang energy, by observing the way those two interact, we can better understand the nature of things and their behavior. In the case of yang energy, its expression are related to the power to do, the force necessary to make something happen. For this reason, the qualities related to yang are determination, strength, motivation, discipline, ability to speak, to envision a goal, to make efficient planning, and in general, all the skills that help you to go from point A to point B. For this reason, the yang is considered directional, as it moves in a straight fashion. When the yang becomes unharmonious, it can give rise to qualities as stubbornness, restlessness, obsession, anger, and really the person becomes so fixated with pursuing its goals that they can become really controlling or unable to listen to others or really hard on himself. And also it can become unable to stop and to rest and to really be in the present. The yin, on the other side, is considered the ability or the power to not do. So qualities as stillness, ability to let go, calm are considered yin qualities. When we become still and we stop pursuing the final goal, then our perception opens to a whole new field of vision. And this is why it's considered that the yang it's radial and it opens in all directions. And also all the qualities that have to do with perception are considered yin qualities. Those are, for example, the ability to listen, the ability to have introspection, the ability to think and look outside of the box, outside of the lines, and also obviously the ability to understand other people's emotion, other people's feelings. Also, the yin is able to open and to connect with other people and to care about other people because he's not so fixated on himself and his goals. And so qualities as care, love are also considered yin qualities. So we can say that the yin is able to be in the present and to be receptive, to observe and to receive the gifts and to also be able to follow the flow of life. The unharmonious expression of yin can be depression, sadness, lack of motivation, inability to pursue or to do anything. Also can be shyness, inability to focus, and also always following the current and eventually ending up moving in cycles and never really bringing anything to a conclusion. So as you can see, the unharmonious manifestation of one quality are based on the lack of the harmonious manifestation of the other. We can say that the unhealthy yin is unable to do, and the unhealthy yang is unable to not do. The strong healthy yin is based on a strong healthy yang, and vice versa. The unharmonious expression comes when we have too much of a certain quality and we become controlled by it. We are somehow obliged to express it all the times. Like, for example, I have a very strong yang that I can use to make things happen, but when is the time to step back, then I'm unable to stop and have all this energy that is refraining me. In this case, it's like our own energies work against us. So the real mastery is to be able to have a very strong and healthy yang and a very strong and healthy yin, and to be able to use them appropriately depending on the circumstance with our own will. So for example, if we are very hard working but also very hard on ourselves, the final goal will not be to become less hard working and more kind with ourselves, but is to become more kind with ourselves, but at the same time keep on being hardworking or become even more, because if we will be able to work the same amount but with less violence, with less pressure against ourselves, we will be able to feel more inspired and to be more productive in the end. If the energies that compose us are in harmonious state, then we can express more of our potential, and those energies will work together with each other instead of obstaculating each other. So, in general, in our life, it is normal that we have cycles where we go to explore more in depth one quality rather than the other. With these waves in our path, we will be able to deepen more, for example, the yin quality in one phase, and this will help us to get even stronger and healthier yang in the next phase, which will then help us to go even deeper with the yin. So, following the same example as before, if we are this very hard working person that is very hard on himself, then we may have a period where we need to take more care of ourselves, slow down, rest, and really explore self love and to pursue the things that give us pleasure and that we are happy to do. And after a while, we may start experiencing also some signs of excessive yin when these qualities becomes very integrated and maybe become bored, for example. And in that moment, we may realize, oh, but actually I did like working a lot. It was very satisfying. It was very fulfilling. And then go back again to another phase of hard working. But thanks to my deepening of the qualities of the opposite, be able to do the same amount of work with less effort or with more motivation or more inspiration, and in this way be more efficient. This type of cycle happens all the time in our lives and in all different aspects of it. And this movement from one opposite to the other is really our way to experiment and to come to understand in which way we want to behave. These shifts can be very gradual and take years, and not necessarily we need to be aware of them. This information is very important for our spiritual practice because with the practice we go to affect the character and the balance of our energy inside of us, and so also the natural curves of learning that we go through. Looking at different aspects of our life, we can really understand in which we tend to express more yin or more yang qualities, and which type of unharmonious qualities we tend to express more, and what other qualities we would need to counterbalance this. Also, paying more attention to our inner voice, we will be able to know with more accuracy in which direction we should move, and in this way be able to carry the learning process in a more efficient way. Also, knowing these facts about the Yin Yang Theory, we can know when we are practicing one energetical quality, which possibility of unharmonious energy it has, and be able to spot these manifestations on early stages and be able to correct before they become really big and damage us or the people around us. What instead can be problematic on the other side is to insist forcefully on one quality. This normally happens especially when we have a philosophy that puts one energetical quality above the other. If, for example, my philosophy is all about pushing through and using my strength to overcome difficulties, then I will consider letting go and resting as a weakness, and I will not go in there. And so, if I have manifestation of excessive yang, I will not be able to strengthen my yin, which is the antidote for my situation. And so, I may be stuck in this situation for a long time. Or on the other side, if my philosophy is that life is all about letting go and following the flow, then if I am always following the flow and lost in the currents, then I will prevent myself from entering in a more yang phase, which is what actually I would need in that moment. This happens also because we tend to get attached to energy qualities that have been useful for us in the past. Let's say, for example, I was very lazy, then becoming disciplined becomes really useful for me and really helps me to change my life. But then I can become very attached to and identify with this quality, and I will not be able to let it go, and this may bring me to the opposite excess. So, when we listen to our inner voice about which qualities are relevant for us to explore, this can become very fulfilling because our being feels that we are overcoming some limitation that we previously had, and in this way we are becoming more expanded and able to express more of ourselves. The more we facilitate this process, the more it can happen in a smooth and accelerated way. On the other side, if we are resisting this process, we may feel inside, for example, attracted to deepen a specific energy quality, but on the other side, not allow ourselves to do it. And this often happens because our mind tends to be against changes, and for this reason, it creates excuses or obstacles or good reason why we should not explore outside of our comfort zone. For this reason, it is really important to listen to ourselves and also to practice intelligently, choosing a practicing method and an attitude that fits our condition and our goals, doing our best to counterbalance the unhealthy manifestations of the qualities we are practicing, and in this way becoming able to express more and more of our potential. That was all for today. I hope you enjoyed the content of this video. Please let me know what you think about it, and thank you for watching. Have a great day.